everyone, it's Kyle from Magpie 24/7. I hope you're all good. And yesterday, Newcastle got absolutely fucking destroyed off Leicester. Leicester City 4, Newcastle United nil. Newcastle remain in the bottom three, although results did go Newcastle United's way. We remain 3 points from the drop zone with Man City, Liverpool, and Man United and Everton to play over the Christmas period. It's worrying. Obviously, we weren't expecting much against Leicester. Like, I'll be honest, I looked at like their recent form and stuff, and with a team that seemed to be on the verge of collapse, maybe even calling the game off in midweek, I thought maybe we can get at them. They're maybe a bit tired from their away day in Europe, but first half I thought were all right. I mean, we're in the game. We tried to make things work. We had little bits of possession here and there, and we looked okay from the most part. But obviously Leicester go 1-0 up because of the penalty. And like, we can sit here and say it's not a penalty all we want. And for me, it wasn't a penalty. Like, Madison's already diving to the ground before Lascelles clips him. But my point is, Lascelles picks up the ball, and the skip on Sky Sports, if you watched it, the skip to Max Verstappen winning the Grand Prix in what was probably another fucking robbery. Another robbery went to happen again with Newcastle conceding a penalty, and obviously Max Verstappen winning the World Championship in weird circumstances. Another weird circumstance, Newcastle conceding this penalty. It's not a penalty, but Lascelles, much like Mercedes could have pitted, like it could have been avoided. All of this. Lascelles plays the ball to Shelvey and he's marked by two players. They press him, he loses the ball. Lascelles dives in, leaves his foot planted, and like Lascelles probably warranted a start because he played well against Burnley in that second half. But other than that, he's been absolutely fucking dreadful this season, Lascelles. I honestly don't know how Fernandez can't get a game in front of him. And it's the whole back four. It's a lot of that team, to be honest with you. A lot of that team needs to take a good fucking hard look at itself. Because for me, right, a lot of them players have had it fucking easy for so long under Steve Bruce. They've had it easy. They go in, clock out of work a couple of times a week. To go to training whenever that may be, if Steve Bruce can be asked. The same people would get a start. The same people would play. They wouldn't have to run much in games because it wasn't. No one gave a fuck when Steve Bruce was here. And Eddie Howe's came in with his team, and he wants to take forward, and he gives a fuck. And there's a lot of players, right, that basically have been told sink or swim. Prove that you can play for this football club. Prove you can play for Newcastle because we've got a manager in now that actually knows what he's doing, and a lot of them can't. A lot of them are sinking and drowning, and a lot of them I thought would be like Sir John Joe Shelvey, Joe Linton, people like that. You know, I thought people like that would honestly not be able to wouldn't progress, but they have. They've done really well. The likes of Jamal Lewis, Shelvey, Joe Linton. They've done really well since Eddie Howe's came in. But there's a lot of players, man, since Eddie Howe's came in, have proved that they should have been on the firing line with Steve Bruce. To be honest with you, Jamal Lascelles, Kieran Clark, the whole back line was fucking atrocious yesterday. Um, like hang your heads in shame type job. And like there's some of these players that have played for Newcastle for a long time, but like for me, some of them they don't give a shit about the fans that travelled down there and were absolutely fantastic yesterday. They don't care about the black and white stripes of Newcastle United. They don't care about they've seen these new owners come in, and a lot of them know their futures aren't going to be at Newcastle United because they know they're not good enough for the new look Newcastle. They might be good enough for the Steve Bruce, oh well, you know, Mike Ashley ticking along era, but they're not good enough for a club now that wants to go forward. And there's a lot of them just picking up a wage and hoping to get away in January. That's how it looks. There's a lot of players like that, and I hate saying that, and I don't want to be so negative, but when you see when you see Newcastle go 2-0 down and then will completely capitulate because the players look like they've given up, it's annoying, it's frustrating, because we're sitting in a relegation dogfight, and you see Burnley get a draw at home to West Ham and stuff like that, and they're still battling even though they lost us last week, and Norwich battling hard against Man United this week as well, but coming up short but playing really well. You know, like we've we've we're in the shit really badly. Steve Bruce, Mike Ashley, Lee Charnley have left in the mire, and these players have got to get out of it. And there's a lot of them I don't have much faith in doing so, to be honest with you. Like, with what we've got coming up, like, we've got to get to January. And, like, if we're allowed, spend at least 100, 200 million to get a squad capable enough of winning some games and keeping in this division. Because the current crop, barring three or four, answer is this, honestly. If the summer transfer window opened tomorrow and the season ended and we were still in the Premier League next season, right? How many of that team of 25 that have got squad numbers this season, how many of them would you keep? Honestly, get your comments and let us know. How many of the current team would you keep? Because honestly, I'm probably 4 or 5 tops. I'd keep Dubravka, I'd keep Maxi, I'd keep Joe Linton, I'd keep Wilson. I'm struggling after that, people. You know what? I'm struggling after that. Maybe Jamal Lewis because he's got potential. Make an argument for anybody else. Make an argument for Jamal Lascelles. Make an argument for Kieran Clark. Make an argument for Matt Ritchie. These players are not delivering. They used to be steady Premier League players under Rafa Benitez, but they've got worse under Steve Bruce, and I don't know if Eddie Howe can get the best out of them, because half of them don't seem arsed about the situation we find ourselves in. It's a bloody shame, like it is, because even though like relegation might do a good, yeah, it might do a good. It gives us a chance to rebuild and get rid of a lot of this shit. But I'd rather we stayed up. We've got a new takeover now. There's a lot to look forward to. Yet the players on that field were that bad at the weekend. There's still something to be negative about. They were absolutely fucking horse shit in the second half. Absolutely terrible. As soon as we went 2-0 down, that was it. We were done. We were finished. We didn't look like it. The second half was like a Steve Bruce team. Lamb to the slaughter. We got absolutely smashed in that second half. We made James Maddison, who, by the way, if Leicester fans are watching, he's a fantastic player, and I hope we can buy him one day, because we could one day, hopefully. He's a fantastic player, fantastic passing ability from James Maddison. However, we made James Maddison look like Kevin De Bruyne yesterday. We made him look like an informed Xavi. He's outside of the foot passes and that, just taking the fucking piss out of it. And like, this is a bloke that hasn't been in the England squad for over a year. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's a fantastic player. I'm not chipping him, but we made him look world class yesterday. We made him look out of this world. And it's just frustrating to see. Like, Leicester seem to be a team on the brink. Hadn't won many games recently. Haven't looked like the Leicester that has been expected the past couple of years. But we made them look like better than the team that won them the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not looking good. I have full faith in Eddie Howe and his team, but there's a lot of players I don't. I'll support them when they cross the white line. Don't get us wrong, but there's a lot of them players that I've just got zero faith in to pull out with this shit. Zero, like, and it all starts with the captain. To be honest, Jamal Lascelles. Like, what happened, mate? Like, 2018, we're singing in the crowd. Like, Southgate needs to call you up to the Euro squad. I wouldn't even. I wouldn't even have you on a list to play for England. Nowhere near, nowhere near. Like, you're nowhere near that. Just, and the worst thing is, he doesn't. It doesn't seem like he carries himself as a captain anymore either. He doesn't lead the team anymore. Like, he used to like kick people. Where's the Lascelles that stood up the whole dressing room at Southampton and told them that it wasn't fucking good enough? He needs to stand up again, but he's not doing it. Why? It it's beggars belief to me. Like, it's piss poor. But do I think Newcastle can pull out of it? I'm not sure, to be honest. We need to still be within touch and distance come January, so we can sign a couple of players and hopefully pull out with this shit. Because the current crop at the moment, I I seriously doubt they can pull out of it. But let us know what you think. Again, let us know how many players you would keep if the summer was tomorrow. Transfer window. Let us know in the comments. Hopefully, I'll be back Friday with my video for Liverpool. What'll probably be another fucking Haugen at this rate. But never know, Newcastle are one of them teams to lose 4-0 to Leicester, then go and pull some out the arse against Liverpool. So fingers crossed and we'll live in hope. But I love yous and leave us for now, and catch you on the next one, everyone. See you later. Ta-da.